Hi everybody, we're back and welcome back to the show. And then just in case you're wondering about me and all this red, I don't think I've ever worn red on the show before. And it's not that it's not a great color, but what I've got to match up with this very well decorated gentleman here sitting to the left of me. And so without further ado, I want to take the time and have the honor to present someone who means an awful lot to me and actually to the world because of the many changes that he has made in his lifetime. And I'm going to let him tell you how old he is, okay, if he wants to do that with us. But I'd like to introduce a former U.S. Petty Officer of the U.S. Navy. He's also a member of the Buffalo Soldiers. He's author of the book To the I.C., and he has served in World War II, Korea, and in Vietnam. So without further ado, this is somebody that we've got to talk to today right here on Variety Talk. I'd like to introduce to you the one, the only Trooper R.B.L. Hambrick. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, it's so great to have you here.
It's great to be here with you.
And you know what I'm so pleased about is each and every time you've come, we've only been able to get a snippet, just about that much of who you are, what you do, and we promised the Variety Talk family a series. So today, guess what? We've got the show.
Oh my Lord, hallelujah.
We can take our time and we can talk about all of the magnificent imprints that you have made in your lifetime. And not even talking about the book To the I.C., which we'll talk about a little bit later, but just in your years of service to the world, to the country, to so many people. I've only known you for a short time, but in just seeing what you are doing and have done in this period of time floors me. And I can't wait to share that with the Variety Talk family. So first of all, tell us a little bit about who you are.
I'm R.B.L. Hambrick, a veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. And during the war, I did not drop out of school. I was liberated by the Navy in 1945.
Whoa!
And I was drafted, and I went to my first place there after being inducted into the Dallas, Texas. And then I took a bus there to Bainbridge, Maryland. And that is where I went there for a period of about 13 weeks of boot camp and training. And as you might know and look back and see, in those times the Navy was all the whole branches was very segregated at that time. And so all the blacks and the Negroes, they had to go to one particular platoon to train.
Oh, wow.
And all the others went to another one. And also when they come to eat at the mess hall and things of that nature. And I can never forget when we caught the bus out of Dallas, Texas, going to Bainbridge, Maryland, and someone said, "Oh, there's a black man on here." And they started talking about how segregated it was and things of that nature. And I spent 13 weeks there at that particular training base, and that's right out of Washington, D.C., Bainbridge, Maryland. And from there on, I went to, when I broke training, they put me on a train going from the East Coast to the West Coast. And that way, everybody had their bunks and things like that, and they would eat in the porter cars and things like that in the dining room. But the black could not eat or sleep. They had to sleep in their chairs.
You had to sleep in the chairs?
Yes. You did not have a bunk over your head where you could sleep and things like that of that nature. And this ship that you might see, can I show this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me just back up for those. You can keep lifting it up while you're doing this. I want to just kind of summarize a little bit your story. So what you're saying is that you came in during the time of heavy duty segregation.
Yes.
And these are some of the things that you had to be confronted with as a United States military officer.
Yes.
You actually had to sleep sitting up in the chairs while everyone else laid down and slept like normal people. You had to eat in different quarters.
Yes.
And so the black soldiers and the white soldiers were completely separated, segregated.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, and you were going to show us something here on this board. This is pretty big, so I don't know what. Are you capturing it, Scotty? Okay, so what are we looking at here? Because you've got a nice wide array of things happening here.
Well, I'll look at this. I'll go up here first, in this left-hand corner here.
And that's your book, To Thee I See.
To Thee I See.
Okay.
And that little picture you see on there was my, they didn't have a picture of my dad because he left home shortly after I was born.
And I'm just going to point it out. It's this one, correct?
Yes. So,
all right.
So that's me and my uncle. And over here to your left.
Your uncle was fine.
Yeah, he was a handsome man.
And I can't wait to show the audience how you looked back then, too. You were like, okay, you weren't short-stopping yourself there, Trooper Arby.
And thank God for what you're saying, and I'm 90 years old.
Okay.
As of November last year.
I couldn't wait for you to tell. I wasn't going to tell it, but all right, there we go.
And this picture over here, you will see here, my picture and a Filipino. We are in that little galley cooking food for the captain of that ship.
Interesting. So what was it like for other cultures here? You have a gentleman who's a Filipino. Were there other cultures outside of African American and just Caucasian within the military?
Yes, if there was from all branches of service of that. But most of the black only went to cook as a steward.
Cooks or stewards?
Yeah.
Those were the positions for African American men.
Right.
And at that time, colored men.
Colored men.
Colored men.
Yes. Thank you so much. And this picture where you see here were taken, it was Frank Knox, the Secretary of the Navy under Harry Truman. I manned the rail for him on top of this aircraft carrier in Norfolk, Virginia.
And this is the aircraft carrier, correct?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Aircraft carrier. And we stood at parade rest at 9 degrees for 2.5 hours, long as the president was in the area.
Wow. What president was it?
President Truman. Harry Truman.
So he came and visited the vessel, and everybody, and African Americans had to stand on one side, the Caucasians stood on the other, and you stood for 2 hours while he was there.
2 hours, yes. And this picture, what you see right here from the left, right by your heart there, you see those planes they have on that flight deck?
Yes.
Well, his father was the one that invented the folding wing for the aircraft, for the plane.
Oh my goodness.
He never did get the recognition.
A black man. This is an African American man, correct?
Yes.
Wow.
Herman T. Grimes.
Herman Grimes.
Yes.
And never got the recognition, and of course it's not in the history books.
Most likely not. But his son, right here, he was at my book signing, and he has written a book also himself, trying to get his father's recognition even until this day. And you look right up above there, in 2015, I was the Grand Marshal for the Martin Luther King Parade. And
oh my goodness.
You see me right there. And,
wow.
And one young man on there, I don't know whether you can see him or not, who's standing right behind me, but he lives here in Henderson, Nevada, right today. He was a first-class steward also. Okay. But he went in just before me. So when I went to Tacoma, Washington to put this in 1946, and he was ready to get out of the Navy, and he went on to college after that. And he was president of about 6 different colleges in his lifetime.
Oh my goodness.
And he is
my gosh.
He is now 95 years old.
And he's wow.
Yes.
So you two are still bosom buddies, and you both made it through and made major accomplishments. He was the president of 5 universities?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That is outstanding. And look at you as the marshal. That was outstanding to be the marshal in the parade like that as well.
That was a great day.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Great day. Yes, it was. And this picture, I go back up here into this corner up here, taken with this lady you see right behind me.
Yeah, I see those lovely ladies smiling at you.
She was the first principal in the state, black principal of a school in the state of Nevada.
Oh my
And that was
goodness,
when I was
okay.
speaking at the library. Just her right here. Her right here.
Yeah, well, she's blushing. She's looking mighty proud of you too, by the way.
And I go by and see her every once in a while. And this group down here, I like to go to, say, 60, 70, and 75. So 60, what I'm talking about, 1960. The Korean peoples came to Las Vegas in 2012 to thank the U.S. Military, the U.S. government for helping them win the war in that. And this is what I received, this medal right here. You notice I'm the only African American in this whole group in Southern Nevada
Oh my
to
goodness.
wear this Korean peace medal. And I don't know whether you know too much about the Korean, the little angel.
No, I'm not familiar with the little angels.
They only perform for heads of state like President of the United States, and also the United Nations and the United Kingdom and
Oh, my
all of those
goodness.
places. But in 2012, they came through here to thank the U.S., thank us for helping them win that war.
Oh,
And they made a 60, they made a state, every state in the Union a tour. And I was the speaker to send them off from Las Vegas down at the Grant Sawyer building. They had a great big double-decker bus on there, and they took these pictures. And another thing, getting back to these little angels, they can only serve a certain period of time. When they get 15 years old, they have to branch out from that. That's the oldest a little angel can get.
Oh, okay.
On this one.
All right.
And
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I can see this one up here too. Who's all these people at the table?
oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that goes with that. As a colored man and a black steward and a Filipino, they said we do nothing but serve, cook, and a steward in the Navy. And this is where we served dignitaries. And a lot of time I would go from flagship to flagship. And this is where you see me down here on a heavy cruiser. That was CA-135, the USS Los Angeles.
Okay.
And then after that, I went back to a duty. You probably see something else I talked about. Carl Brashear, he was on this ship with me also.
Oh.
And he became the first black master diver. You probably heard when you
Yes, Carl Bashir, of course. And the
Yes.
name is very familiar now, isn't he?
Yes.
Associated with one of the other Buffalo Soldiers, correct? So did you know him at that time, the diver?
The one that was, yes.
Wow.
I didn't know him at that time.
Oh, okay.
No, I met him at the Buffalo Soldiers meeting.
Oh my goodness.
And him and I was honored to be an honorary member of the Buffalo Soldier at the same unit at the same time. And since you mentioned that, thank you for mentioning that. Last week at the Buffalo Soldiers meeting, his son and his son's wife, they are part of that unit. He is, and they come from Arizona down here once a month to meet with the Buffalo Soldier. So they had their great-grandson of Wardell Stephen Wardell Stephen, and he was joining the Navy. And I signed the book and gave it to him last Saturday.
That is precious. That is precious. I mean, so it's like full circle. Full circle.
Yes.
Amazing. What an amazing story. So what was it like to be a mover and a shaker back in the days when you couldn't shake too much and you couldn't move too much because why? You were a black man in a white man's world. We're going to have you answer that when we come back. Everybody, you're watching Variety Talk live in Las Vegas. We're here with the Honorable Trooper RBL Hambrick, and boy, does he have some stories to tell us. So we'll be right back.